All right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. That's weird that there's no sound effect. I was waiting for the sound effect, so we had like an awkward silence for like the first 5 seconds. Hey, world, what's good? It's your boy LG, and I'm back with another video. And welcome to another chance to level up at the Level Up Podcast here live, the fourth level. Yes, sir. We're getting deep into this thing with my podcast partner, the Game Craver, the boss of Brooklyn. What's going on, bro? What's
What's
going
going on, LG? Finally back to do another Level Up podcast.
on?
Let's get it popping. We got so much to cover today. Hope you guys are prepared and ready for it.
Oh yeah, I'm prepared and ready. But I first want to say, man, I'm glad to have you back, man. I'm glad to see you are fully recovered. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna say congratulations on your successful surgery. You know what I'm saying? So just want to say thank you for that and congratulations on that. I'm glad to see you here. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's go ahead and hop into it. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, we got some good juicy stuff. So you was just telling me about the Microsoft HoloLens. I thought it was just another little gimmick thing. So if just I looked at it and it looked kind of gimmicky to me. But what's your take on it?
To be quite honest, I think that with the whole VR insurgence right now that's happening, and Sony pushing out theirs, and everybody else pushing out their version of VR. It's cool. And I think that there's a place for it, but there's also a place for augmented reality. And
Mm,
that's where Microsoft, I think, is going to be playing in their own stratosphere, in their own field, because this isn't something that's going to, HoloLens isn't a device that you're going to put on your head. It's going to put you in a different world. It's not that type of device.
mm,
It's a device that actually enhances your reality and what you live in.
okay.
So you're still going to be in the real world or in your living room or in your home, but where it excels, where VR doesn't, what it does is it interacts with your real world and allows you to, basically be able to, interact with environments in more of a 3D geometrical setting, in the likeness of, they showed last year at E3, they showed Minecraft.
Mm,
And they showed how you was actually able to turn the table and to look within the game and look in the underworld of the Minecraft game that they showed at E3 last year. They
wow.
also showed a guy that was reading something off the wall of his home, but he had the glasses on and he was completely still within reality, but it was an augmented reality that he was able to interact with. And I think that that can not only benefit gamers, but I think that it has so much potential. You can also, benefit, patients in the hospital in the real world,
Mm,
mentally challenged children, you know what I mean, that have mental issues that need to be stimulated other than having bright lights and flashing lights and video games on their head. Whereas this will actually give them a reality, an augmented reality, which is different that we've never experienced. So I think that the platform is there. I just think that we need a little bit more time, because right now they have the developer kits for HoloLens going to be available, and they cost about $3,000, and that's fairly
wow.
expensive. That's not going to be the consumer price
Mm,
for this thing, obviously. But for the early adopters and the developers who are creating games and practical practices for the HoloLens, they're going to be able to get it. And I think that this can apply itself to so many different facets and forms of our life. So, I think that, this is something really big that Microsoft is onto.
wow. Yeah, I was actually looking at some of the article while about it while you was reading, or actually doing a little bit of side search where you was talking about it, and it looks. I mean, like I said, first off, design wise, it looks a little bit more. I think a little bit more practical than than what it was with the VR stuff. Like you said, you do have a lot of the stuff that's VR right now. And I'm not surprised about it because it's becoming the new. I guess that's the new trend right now is the virtual reality, or in this case augmented reality. um I think infusing I guess the extra between the two, I guess I guess adding that extra dimension, if you will, to what you already have. I think that's always a good thing to have. You know what I'm saying? And I like what you were saying about with the and I think you told me about it before about what they can do with it as far as medically. Um, that's really, that's something good when it has multiple uses, especially in a medical setting, a medical field, and you can do a lot with that. A lot of testing can be done, I believe, a little bit more safely that way. Um, you know, um, as far as also people with illness, like children with mental illnesses and stuff like that, that can also be a very good thing to do. And and I think it sounds like it'd be a heck of a lot more safer. You know what I'm saying? Because you do augmented. If you do virtual reality, you give them a different world. They don't know where everything's at in their room. They trip over something. You know what I'm saying? Well, augmented reality, it's kind of everything's in your room. You know where everything is in your room, but you get that extra, a little extra. Where everything is at. That table is still right there. So you're not gonna, play tennis and and flip over your table like you used to do the Wii. Remember when the Wii first came out, people would try to run and try to,
Hmm.
actually try to
Hmm.
run around with the Wii. But just little tidbits like that. It's just I like that. I think this is it's always a good thing when people are trying to do something good and different with technology. And I think I'm looking forward to seeing what they're gonna do with it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just like with the VR with Sony, um, I'm not gonna say too much. I'm not gonna say if I'm hyped for it, if I'm gonna get it or not. I'm just gonna see where it goes. That's one of those things we're gonna see what's gonna happen with it. Um, you know, like I said, Sony's pushing the VR. I think the way I think the way Microsoft is doing this one, I think this one is a little bit better right now. I think they're not forcing it on people right now. They're not making it to where it's going to be a forced issue. They're not going to like, oh, we're going to put it with your Xbox One like right now, so that way you'll get it. We're going to raise up the price on the Connect, so that way you'll have to get it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, or the peripherals and stuff like that. Just no gimmicks on it. It's just I think it's going to be just straightforward for this thing. That's just me, but who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive, they're going to be competing, in the virtual reality field, and
Mm-hmm.
because they're pretty much the same thing. They're going to take you out of your reality and put you in another reality that don't exist. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that the HoloLens, in all practical use, I think that, like I said before, this thing, it doesn't require a PC that's going to be able to, run ridiculous graphics or have a ridiculous graphic card or requirements, whereas the Oculus Rift does. You got to pay for that, and you got to pay for a PC that can run it.
Right.
Whereas with the HoloLens, I believe you just be able to connect this directly to your Xbox One. It's
Wow.
not bulky, not as bulky as the HTC Vive, or the Oculus Rift. It looks fairly simple to use, and I think that once we get it in our hands and it's more tangible, people will have a lot more respect for it. But due to the fact that it's not coming out anytime soon, Microsoft have not released a consumer product yet for this, or even a date when we should expect this. I think people are going to be skeptical. But I think that once the VR wave is over, and then this comes in, I think that's going to be something completely different than what we're used to.
Right, exactly. Now it's good that they don't put a date on it. I mean, it's good to have news about it, and that's the part. That's the point of it. You want to have news about it, but don't really give too much of a date, because if you do, people are going to expect it, and people are going to want it. People are going to look for it, and if they can't get it when you say it, then they're going to have a problem with it, and it's good. Then don't put a date out on it yet. Just keep tweaking it, keep working on it. Keep getting those dev kits out for those people, that wants to develop it. Then we'll go from there. That's just me. And but speaking of dev kits, for $3,000 for a dev kit, though, that's kind of steep for I guess for anybody. But I saw in the article. What if I told you that you can first off put your Xbox One into a dev kit? Your Xbox One is going to be into a dev kit. Now, I didn't get this directly. Isn't directly for me. Shout out to Rain for we was talking the other day in the Xbox live party. And shout out to Rain for this one. And he piqued my interest on this and said that it was had some news out saying that you can turn your Xbox One into a dev kit. Um, and also, I went to go check an article. Shout out to Polygon.com. They was talking about how you can for it says for free you can they have a free testing thing. If you have the preview program, you can use some of the stuff you can for your dev kit. Now I'm gonna go into the dev mode demo. I'm gonna read some of this article here, and it says, in a short demonstration over Skype earlier this week, Carla showed us how easy it was to switch a retail Xbox One into be one that could be used for testing UWP apps and games. First, first the user has to download Dev Mode application app from the Xbox Game Store. Launching the app kicks off a welcome screen and a link to documentation that details what to expect when you switch over from a retail to a dev kit, as well as the requirements. Now, here are the requirements right here. It says, one, you join the Windows Insider program. Two, are running a Windows 10 on your PC. Three, have a wire connection from your PC to your Xbox One. And four, have installed the latest Visual Studio 2015 and Windows builds. And last but not least, have at least 30 gigs of storage free on your console. Okay. And also, here's another one here. It says the introduction also warns that once you've converted your console over, you may occasionally run into issues running retail games. In addition, the introduction says leaving dev mode will require restarting your console to its factory settings and uninstalling all your games, apps, and content. Okay. So, what do you think about that?
Wow, I think that once again Microsoft is uh way beyond what I think. That I'm not going to say light years because then I'll sound like a fanboy, but I want to say that they're way ahead of the curve when it comes to this. I think that the practicality use of turning your Xbox One into a dev kit where you can actually create games, it kind of reminds me of Project Spark when Microsoft was revealing the system and they were showing us how a developer created a game and how you will too be able to create games. And I think that this allows gamers, or at least Microsoft platform owners, to be able to be more involved with the content and make content that they actually want. I've saw some actual dope games created in Project Spark, and I was quite impressed with it. And the fact that you're actually going to be able to, everyone that owns the Xbox One, be able to make their Xbox One a dev kit unit, something that no gaming console has ever done. Sony can't even do that right now. Or wouldn't even think of even doing that because their ecosystem is just not what it is. I think that is remarkable. It's marvelous. I think they should be applauded for it.
Exactly.
There's been so many upgrades. Listen, from the time that you got your Xbox One day one up until this particular point, you can literally see the transformation, the additions that they have brought to this particular console. And you got to give them credit for it because they're constantly innovating and evolving and doing things that Sony isn't doing. And
Right.
it's too obvious to not point out the obvious. And the obvious here is that if you want to be more immersed or hands-on when it comes to gaming applications, Microsoft is the console to have for that.
Right, exactly. And let me I forgot to add this part in the from the article. Now because it says for free, it's basically like a free trial, but it says the mode will allow anyone to build, test, and experiment with Universal Windows Program or UWP development. Converting a console to a dev mode requires no special equipment or fees, though to fully access the abilities, a user will need to create a Dev Center account for $19. Not bad.
It's not bad at all.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
I mean that. Imagine, think about it. This is power and access that the average consumer never had, or never would
Right.
have thought of even having. So, if you're actually able to do what they say you're able to do, I mean, who's to say you might be able to create a indie game and be able to make money and sell it and continue to create games and make a career off of this. This is the
Right.
ramifications of this particular product is so great that people just not really understanding and fathoming any of
Right.
it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Exactly. And And you know what? And it's funny, and it blows my mind how people will sit up here and say that, oh, Sony, PlayStation 4 is doing is the better console, and blah blah blah. And it's at this point, if you look at everything, it's not like you really, it really isn't. But we'll go more into that in a minute. We'll go more into that in a little bit later on, because there's a special topic that we talked about that I want to bring up, that you said, Brooklyn Boss. But we'll go into that in a minute. But back to this dev kit thing. Back to this dev kit. I think, I may not best necessarily be a developer yet, but I think, like I said, it's a great idea. I like it. I want to at least be able to try it. Now, I don't have a computer with Windows 10 on it yet, but you know, if I'm able to, or I know somebody that has one, that's great ramifications to, like you said, to just do whatever with it. You can create your own games. You can possibly, test somebody else's game. Test somebody else's game
Mm-hmm.
out. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And be a game tester, and look at, okay, hey, well, this is what you could do, or you can help a friend create a game. This gives me an idea. Matter of fact, I got a homeboy right now. Shout out to my homeboy Sonic the Ghetto Hog. He wants to create a game, so this could be a good way to help with that. You know what I'm saying? Put your game on the next gen console. You know what I'm saying? But hey, just a lot of things you can do with that Xbox One turning into a dev kit. Man, like I said, Microsoft is doing a thing right now. So, Sony needs to step up. You know what I'm saying? And Nintendo
Oh,
needs Nintendo.
we gotta talk Nintendo. We're gonna talk Nintendo today.
Oh boy.
We're gonna
Oh
talk
my
Nintendo
Lord.
today.
Oh my Lord. Man, for everybody, now everybody at first, we had a issue with the whole NX controller when it leaked, quote unquote leaked, and then they, the whole, everybody was up in an uproar because, like, oh my God, it looks so ugly. It looks like Hey Arnold, it looks like this. It looks like,
Mhm.
with no buttons, and the shoulder stuff, the two thumbsticks and the screen looks like this, that, and the third. You know, after we done seen after we seen the blueprint, and it was like, okay, and then they saw it leaked in action, and then everybody was in an uproar, and then everybody goes back and says, somebody comes back and says, okay, well, no, that's not the real NX controller. Everybody calm down. That's not it. Okay, it kind of died. It kept, it died it down, but it leads you to wonder, like, what's really going on with the NX right now? That's my
Well,
question.
you know what?
What's really going
I mean, let's we really should be asking what's going on with Nintendo, because one minute they're saying that they're no longer going to be producing the Wii U at the end of the year, and then they come out and say that they're going to continue to support the Wii U and still produce it after this year. So it's kind of like up in the air. And when they say things that are inconsistent like that, it makes me wonder if the Nintendo NX is going to even come out. Like I said, I'm just waiting for the actual reveal of the real name of this Nintendo console, because we know it's not going to be called Nintendo NX.
on?
Um, and not only that, the controller. We actually saw some blueprints that was released maybe 6 months ago that
Uh-huh.
looks similar to what we actually saw recently. And we were wondering that could this be the real thing? But Nintendo buy a lot of patents and blueprints for things of this nature. So we can't really jump to conclusion. All we can do is speculate, and that's what I was doing in the video
Right.
that I made. And what I saw, I kind of feel like, it was kind of outdated with the whole, being able to play the game on the controller, and then it being a portable unit that you'd be able to take with you on the road. And then I thought to myself, I was like, well, what about Nintendo 3DS? Wouldn't you be infringing on that market then? If you create such a portable unit that you can bring with you on the road, in the street, away from the console. And I thought that, well, it wouldn't make sense, because Nintendo's portable handheld market has never been a problem. It's always been their console. So,
Mhm.
when I saw the blueprint, I was wondering, like, is this another gimmicky controller that they're going to be doing? And I hope that they don't do it. But if they do something of the nature, it'll be different. But then
Right.
they're going to have to do more than just make a controller that you actually be able to have a screen on, because we already
Right.
had the big gamepad on the Wii U, which didn't do too bad, was very over encumbersome at times. It had some practical use, don't get me wrong. If you have one TV in the house, or if you're in the living room and your lady watching Housewives of Atlanta, and you still
Oh
want to play
God.
your Wii U, you can still play it on the gamepad. I had those experiences. So I mean, it
Yeah.
was cool for that practical use. But overall, I think that what Nintendo ought to do would just be straightforward, be a straightforward shooter. One of
Mm.
the things that I'm really, really, really concerned about, right, is not so much that the Nintendo NX will be underpowered as far as the console's concerned, but I think that it might be so powerful, or at least able to compete or be able to do more, maybe slightly more than what we're available to do now with the Xbox One and the PS4. Is this a reason why the PS4 is getting a PS4.5 and the Xbox
Oh
One is
Lord.
actually upgrading itself with the DirectX 12, even though they promised us years ago that they were going to do that?
Mm.
Does that have any correlation with the Nintendo X? Do those two consoles know something that we don't know? Because I'm going to be honest with you, if the Nintendo is as powerful or even more powerful than the NX, I mean, than the PS4 and the Xbox One, I'm fine. I'm content with that. I think that'd be great. I think that would be remarkable. That'd be a conversation open for discussion that a
Right.
lot of us weren't expecting. And I think that that'll be in a completely different direction than Nintendo ever went in, because Nintendo always never really tried to keep up with the Joneses. But if they
Right.
come out and they try to let their nuts hang with this Nintendo NX, and it's really a dope console and it's powerful enough to be able to compete and future-proof itself, right, for maybe at least another 5 or 6 years, I
Mhm.
think they're going to have something really coming right now, if that is the case. I'm only speculating.
Right, exactly, and I agree with you. If the minute they do that, I put like that. If they do, if they do, um, that'll be the longest I've seen. In a long time, Nintendo actually did something in competition with another company. Because the last time really Nintendo did something in direct competition, quote unquote, was back in the day when they first started with Sega. You know what I'm saying? To my recollection, you know what I'm saying. You remember when they used to take jabs at each other. The whole Sega Nintendo jab. Mario Sonic jab at each other,
Mm-hmm.
and that'll be the only time they'll be in any kind of competition like that I remember. But like I said, a lot of it is speculation. A lot of it is, we don't know what's going on with this thing, because everything, like you said, they like, oh, we're not going to support. I heard about that too. We're not supporting the Wii U after the end of this year. You know, and then yeah, we are. Okay, well, it's like a girl that doesn't know what she wants on a date. Like, come on now, you got to give me something. What do you want? Do you want to support the NX? You want to support the Wii U still when the new Nintendo comes out, or do you not want to? The choice is yours. You know what I'm saying? You guys got, especially. I mean, I think they should, because they have a library. The backwards compatible. They need to have something to keep their backwards compatibility stuff going, because you want to have something to keep your Nintendo legacy players into it, I guess, for lack of a better term. um I also think that they need to do something with this controller. They need to at least do official release of the controller, since everybody's leaking it. You know what I'm saying? Since everybody's talking about the controller, yeah, I think they need to fix that up. Get a good something they can agree on within the next maybe few months or so, and then say, okay, well, look, since this has been leaked already, this is the actual controller itself, and then just kind of tease it from there. I think.
Yeah, I think that also. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that they really need to just release the console, reveal the console, reveal it. You have to see, if you wait, if you the risk that you run if you wait until 2017 to release this thing, you can generally say that the PS4 and the Xbox One is in the middle of their life console cycle.
Hmm.
So then you release this shit, and then it comes out and it's underpowered than what the Xbox One and PS4 is. 2 or 3 years down the line, those two consoles or those two manufacturers are going to say, hey, we're releasing the new PS5 and the Xbox 720 or whatever you want to call it. Then what? Then you find yourself in the Wii U situation again.
Yeah, I was
So, I
just
mean, that's why you got to kind of release, within a reasonable time frame, this console. You got to release it this year. You got to reveal it this year, and you got to release it this year. Release it this year, holiday season would be a more practical time because then people would be more willing to spend their money. Therefore, you'd be able to have more profits and more units sold, and
Right.
then you have more nostalgia around your console. But if you wait until January of next year or middle of next year to do this, you're going to miss out so much. Not only that, you promised Nintendo gamers that own the Wii U so many games. You said at one point you're going to be releasing a Wii U game every month. Last year you said that,
Mm.
and that hasn't been the case. That's
Oop.
why my Wii U's really, to be quite honest, has been hanged up in the box. Only time that I play the Wii U is when I play it for the old Nintendo games, when I want to have that nostalgia moment, because I think it's
Right.
really good for that. But new IPs and new Wii U games, they have not came with it yet. The Zelda Wii U game, we hopefully will come out for the Wii U, but I think that Nintendo is so bad, they're going to double dip. They're going to release it on the Wii U, and then when the NX come out, they're going to release it also on the NX, which I
Right.
think that they shouldn't do because you promised this game for the Wii U exclusively, and you should
Exactly.
have enough understanding that you need to push another game on the NX to sell that game. They have not put out any marketing for any games that's going to be coming out for the Nintendo NX yet. I mean, I don't know what they're waiting for, really. They don't really come to E3. They usually have the Nintendo Treehouse thing going on. We're not looking for those tree houses anymore. We're looking for a real practical presentation that is worthy of us owning your console. You know, you
Right.
can't keep telling us, showing us games. Oh, this is coming to the Nintendo. This is coming. This is coming, and then it don't come. And then you haven't even resolved the third party issues, right? You're gonna need to have third party support. People,
Right.
don't get it twisted, and don't think that any moment in time that you think Nintendo NX is gonna come out and it's going to be able to sell itself with the in-house games and Nintendo takes so damn long to create. You need third-party support. So you need to take your head out of your ass and pay these third-party support gamers to bring their games to your console. Because believe it or not, those Nintendo IPs that are exclusive, they're cool, but they're too far in between as far as the release of them. So you need
Right.
third-party support. You got to resolve that. You got to pay up just like everybody else paying up. Microsoft been doing it. Sony been doing it. You're no different. That's why they are selling. That's why they have a market for their gaming console to thrive in. You have to
Mm.
create that all over again because you have lost the trust with the people with the Nintendo Wii U by the lack of content and the lack of support. Therefore, if they do this right, they will be fine. If they do everything they need to do that's practical, they'll be fine.
Okay. I feel that. I feel that. Brooklyn boss over here preaching. I feel that. But man, I'm telling you, the NX is going to be, if they do it, they need to do something. And like I said, I'm gonna go back to kind of like I was saying before. They need to at least tease that, get that controller out there, make sure it looks good, make sure it's good. Now, like I said, if now here's the thing, if that was the actual controller, I don't see too much of an issue with it. Like I mean, as far as the buttons could be a problem a little bit, maybe. But like I said, if it does what it needs to do, I don't think it'll be be a big of a bad idea, because if we look at it, the Wii U gamepad, people were tripping about that thing when it first came out, but now all of a sudden it's like, oh well, the gamepad, okay, everybody gets used to it. You know what I'm saying? So if, especially if it looks like it'll be a heck of a lot smaller, and it looks like it'll be easier on your hands if that was the actual controller. You know what I'm saying? Because our hands are not necessarily, square shaped. Our hands fit more around like curved objects. You know what I'm saying? Um, stuff like that. So if that was the case, then I'll be, like I said, it'll be a definitely upgrade from the Wii U gamepad. I'll tell you that much. You know what I'm saying? It won't be. It looks like it may not be as cumbersome either, because like when I first played the Wii U when it first came out, like for demos and other people that played it, it was kind of hard for me to get used to, because like I had to. It was very wide. You know what I'm saying? Like it was extremely wide. So I had to like kind of like get used to that, and like how you saying with innovation, a lot of the games with the Wii U, it was just a switch. It wasn't just. It was just, oh yeah, we're gonna slap some extra stuff on the bottom of the screen of the gamepad. You know what I'm saying? Only a few games did you excuse me, only a few games used the gamepad in a unique manner for the game, like the Batman game. You know what I'm saying? You actually used the gamepad to kind of like scan around, you know what I'm saying? And I thought that was innovative. You can't just slap a little extra piece of the HUD or slap a map on it, or do like more Mortal Kombat. Excuse me, no, that'll ever happen. Mario Kart. You know what I'm saying? You remember how Mario Kart would just you put the switch between the map and then you could do the horn, and stuff like that. I'm
Mhm.
like, yo, that's cool. I mean, it's cute, but it's not too practical. Like, you know what I'm saying? The map part was okay. Like I can actually see an in-depth part of the map, but my goal ain't focused on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the screen. I can't look at the map. You know, um, do something different with with your console, especially if you're going to have that technology there. You know, use it. You know what I'm saying? Do a better, and that's one thing they need to do. They need to have an option with this NX. They need to have an option to where you can hardwire your system into the internet, like plug it to the internet modem. You know what I'm saying? Because that wire, doing it just off of Wi-Fi, I think the Wi-Fi was an afterthought anyway, because that console was about to be offline only. If I
No,
remember correctly.
the Wii U, you can plug an Ethernet cable into it.
Really? Oh, okay. I'm tripping. Okay, I'm tripping then. I thought you couldn't because or is it the newer ones like the newer Wii U's? Because I know the older ones couldn't, right? Or where all the Wii U's?
I don't know. I have the I bought my Wii U last year, so I don't know if that's the old one or new. I don't know. I didn't think they had more than one version, but I know you can plug an Ethernet cable into it.
Okay, I didn't know because I know some of them you can't. Some of them just strictly Wi-Fi, or the Ethernet part of it's so bad to where it won't work or something like that. I don't know, but
I think you had to buy like an adapter for it.
yeah. See, no, we don't. That's what we don't need. We don't need another adapter for it. It don't work that way. We don't need that. They need to come on, quit playing. Um, they need to step that up. They need to have their Nintendo. They need to take some notes from if they got to take notes from Xbox Live or PS. Well, not I wouldn't necessarily say PSN, but we'll just say it for now. As far as online stuff, like talking with people in parties, party chat, all of that stuff. They just need to go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Add it because that's what I think that would be a great addition to add because that people love playing in Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? That's a classic system. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, Nintendo pretty much has the advantage right there because it's a classic system. You know what I'm saying? It's a legacy system. Nintendo, Sega, they've been around for quite some time, and I think it's about time that they just step up to their legacy and let's make this happen, as you were saying before. And speaking of Sony, what is up with this PlayStation 4.5?
Mm.
What is up with this PlayStation? What is the deal with a PlayStation 4.5? What I'm I can't do.
Sony, I think Sony. I don't know if their marketing understand. Like, I don't know if they think with foresight in anything that they do. I'm sure that they do in some aspects of it, but you see, they've been hyping up this PlayStation VR so bad lately
Mm-hmm.
that it finally dawned on them that the actual PS4 hardware that they currently have out right now is not going to be able to technically power this thing that the way they wanted to. It won't be suffice enough for it to be able to work properly. So there's like, well, we need to make a workaround. So what we're going to do is we're going to release another skewed PS4 that's going to be able to handle what this VR is able to do. So that's my theory of it. They also said they actually increased the GPU on it as well, and it's even
Right.
more powerful than what it already is, and things of that nature. And for those that keep saying the PS4 is more powerful than the Xbox One, they're both using AMD graphic cards that are pretty
Right.
much equivalent. So they're theoretically lying to you when they say that their console is more superior. Now, once this upgrade happened, and if and Microsoft released the DirectX 12 upgrade as well,
Mm-hmm.
there's no more debating at that particular point because once again they've been playing on the same level playing field far as the hardware from the beginning,
Right.
and people just got their mind wrapped around that. Now with the PS 4.5 update, can I trade in my PS4, right, and maybe add $50 to it to get the new 4.5 upgrade, or are you going to charge me my firstborn and my first blood and everything like that for this console. Is this going to be a $400 console again? Is it going to be a $500 console because now it's going to be more powerful? So it's something that we really didn't have. Let's calm
Right.
down. The graphic fidelity, what we're being able to experience on the PS4 is efficient. Okay, it's really good. You can't compare it to PC, so we're not even going to bring PC into this equation. But right now, I think that they're going to double dip. They're going to sell this thing out again. They're also
Yep.
going to try to bundle it with the PlayStation VR. And I don't know if it's going to work, but people so blindlessly and mindlessly continue to follow anything that they do and don't question it, that they might be able to pull this thing off. Whereas with your Xbox One, you don't have to give up your Xbox One. You're getting an update. You're getting an update when that DirectX 12 go out live. With
Exactly.
this, why can't they update the PS4 in such a manner instead of having people go out and buy a completely new one all over again? And then
Maybe
you
it's
have
because
it's good.
I was gonna say maybe it's because they can't. Maybe because the hardware that's in the PS4 now is severely limited, and they know that. But continue.
I mean, if that's the case, then you've been false marketing to the consumer that your console is the console to play on because it's more superior, more powerful. Because
Exactly.
then at that particular point, then shouldn't we question anything that they do now? We don't need all this upgrade from Sony. We want games. We want games. We want more exclusive games that come from them. They're multi-plat games or multi-plat games. They're not exclusive to Sony. We want Sony to put out, look, The Last Guardian. When the hell are we going to get that? Like
Yeah.
they showed that shit last year, E3, and I'm like, I just knew like holiday season that game was going to come out. They showed the hell out of that game, and it hasn't been mentioned since.
Mm.
So when is that supposed to happen, right? Zero Horizon Dawn, that's going to be coming out, even though it got pushed back. We still don't even know when that's going to drop. So I mean, I get it. Everybody's not going to jump on VR. I did say, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to backpedal from what I said. When the PlayStation VR come out, I'm going to purchase it. I'm going to experience it for what it is because I really want to see what it's all about. I have the
Mm.
PS4. I have the camera there as well. So I have pretty much all the components to run this thing day one. And I want to see if it's going to live up to the hype because if it doesn't, then I'll just take it back and get my money back. So I'm
Right.
going to support it. But what we need more is more games. We need more software. We need more content to play, things that make PlayStation unique ecosystem to thrive in. And I think that with this 4.5 update, I think that, yeah, it's nice to have, but do we really need it? I don't think we really need it.
Exactly. I agree with you. And now I'm looking here. It says there's also is rumored to have a game called Deep Down and God of War 4 among the launch titles. Now, like I said, I really don't think a 4.5, console, if you will, it would be a good idea. I really think that it should just be, um, I really think it should just be an update. But see, like I said, and that kind of goes back to what I was suggesting before. If you have to do a 4.5 console, a 4.5 console, that means really like how I was kind of insinuating that maybe PS4 is not as powerful as they market it to be. Maybe Xbox One really does have an advantage right now. Hmm. You know, all Xbox has to do right now is say, okay, we got an update coming out for DirectX 12, and we can unlock 4K on your console right now, instead of you going out and buying another console. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course you have, they always make other consoles to where you can, newer consoles. They have those in production. That always happens during a system's life cycle, where you have different versions of like the Xbox One or PlayStation 4. You have the regular edition, the day one edition. It may not be as better, better than maybe the new one that comes out with the hard drive, the terabyte hard drive and all that stuff. Okay, that's cool. But it's an update. It's not like you have to, with Xbox, you have to, oh, the Xbox One. Oh, guess what? We got an Xbox 1.5 coming out, y'all. Let's get it. Everybody turn in your regular Xbox Ones and let's get you an Xbox 1.5. No, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say the rest of that for later. I'm gonna say the rest of that for later because it's something that it kind of ties it to our heavy hitter right now. Um, But yeah, like I said, I don't think a 4.5 is necessary, and it does kind of, I feel, raises the eyebrow about some things about the PS4. I'm just saying that's just me. Now I know we got a lot of Sony ponies out there. It's okay. That's fine. You like Sony. That's cool. I'm saying is just don't believe the hype. Okay. Now speaking of games, there's been some games out there that's been that everybody's looking forward to, and there's some pretty hype stuff out right now. Some good game. I think what games came out. I know Hitman came out pretty recently. I haven't heard too much from that after it came out. Um, Ki Killer Instinct. You guys know I'm a big fighting game fan, especially Ki fan. Ki season 3 update released this past week, this past Tuesday, and also it released the for PC. I was about to say something else, but the PC. So you could play on your Windows 10 PC, and then you can also play somebody on Xbox One. And a lot of the changes came out. All the characters, character rebalances. They released 4 characters off the rip. Rash, Kim Woo, Tusk, and the guest from Halo, Arbiter. Now, I don't know, Brooklyn. Have you got a chance to get your hands on it on the new update yet?
I haven't. No, I can't even lie, man. I haven't even, played it.
Man, you're missing out, and also you're missing out, and also it's pretty good because they also just did a ranked for ranked matches for anybody that's playing ranked matches right now. Um, they have they reset everybody's rank as far as online rankings. Okay, the reason why they did that was because it's a new game, new season, and I know I was trying to tell a friend of mine on Xbox Live last night playing it, and he was kind of getting upset. But I was trying to let him know. I mean, it's good they did that because there was a lot of people that were in high ranks that really didn't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? That really weren't playing, or it was for some people. They may not have, they were good, they just may not have had the time to grind it out a bit. You know what I'm saying? To get up to that level that they so desired. So what they did was to make things, they did some tweaks for the ranked leagues, and they reset everybody. So
Mm,
which
mm.
is which is I think is fair. You gotta do that. So I thought I saw a update where I played somebody. I was in the killer tier before everything switched over. Um and I played somebody in the gold tier, and there was a 2 out of 3 match. It was still 2 out of 3 matches, which, if that's the case, I think that's good. You know what I'm saying? I really think that's a good deal, because you really um that whole one and done thing, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't always work. And you get people that lose. It gets a little bit more frustrating because you sometimes you might lose the people that really just got lucky. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm looking forward to see how that rolls out. The character wise, love the characters. So far, the best one right now, I feel, in my opinion, it's kind of a toss up between Kim Woo and Rash right now. Rash is the Battletoads representative, and right straight from Rare, from Rare's closet, if you will. And he translates over really well. They designed him good. He fits with the season 3 mantra. I mean, everything is just it's just hilarious. He's got, if anybody's ever played Battletoads before, you'll and you want to see him in action. It's fun to see him in action. He's actually a fun character, a funny character to play. Kim Woo is great. um she's different. It's different. I don't see too many. One of the guys said it, that was the developer said it, and it's true. You don't see too many nunchuck characters in fast games, like, or fast paced games like Killer Instinct. You normally see them in slower games like Tekken or Soul Calibur. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the nature of their moves, and they have more movement options. But she translates well into this game, so um, they did a pretty good job. The overall stage lighting looks good. They redid the stage, the lighting. They redid visuals on the characters. Um, Changes to the characters. Everything is good. So it's basically like a whole new game, I think.
Mm.
a whole new game. Um, Now also, Street Fighter Five had an update too, around about the same time. Now,
Mhm.
did you get a chance to get on that update by chance?
Honestly, I haven't. I didn't even get a chance to start updating it yet. To be quite honest.
Oh, okay, I thought you did because they what they you know how they was teasing the update in in March, and everybody was wondering. See, the first this is how I know that Capcom kind of messed it up because they was teasing this update. They was like, yeah, the update is coming to March. Update's coming to March. Halfway through March, okay, when's the update coming? They ain't say. Then they finally end up saying like third week in March. Oh yeah, it's coming at the end of this month. What?
Yeah, the Capcom has been basically dangling the carrot in front of the rabbit the whole time this game has come out, and it's not acceptable, but it is accepted by many. Um, a lot of people try to defend it and fight for for whatever name that they're trying to create for themselves, and they just don't hold their water because they really don't know what they're talking about. Hip Hop Gamer recently made a video
Hey,
the other day, and I believe the name of the video was called "Hip Hop Gamer Exposes Street Fighter Five Haters and Reveals Spoiled Gamers." And
right.
I
Oh,
made a video myself about
wait.
that.
Yeah, don't do it yet. That's the big finale. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet.
Yeah,
I
no
got you.
doubt,
I got you. I hold off on
no
that.
doubt,
Don't do it. We gonna come back to that one. We gonna come
no
back to
doubt.
that. I got you. We gonna go into a little bit. We got a couple of more things to go into. Quantum Break. Quantum Break.
Mm,
Oh
mm.
man, I haven't. You know what? I kind of got lost in the hype, so I haven't got a chance to get it yet. So I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to go back a little bit and get into it. But like I said, I've been seeing the advertisements. Everybody's excited for it, and matter of fact, our friend Hip Hop Gamer actually said something about it. He said it looks great too. So it's gonna get some attention. I'm gonna definitely. I think it's time for a new IP. Um, a good. I put like this: a good new IP to come in
Hmm.
and see what it can do with next gen. Um, I really wish they, speaking of IPs, new IPs, I really wish Rise Son of Rome got a little bit more credit than what it did.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I just thought about that. I literally just thought about that. And I'm like, Rise Son of Rome was actually, from what I saw, it looked pretty good. You know,
Yeah.
it looked pretty good. It looked freaking amazing.
Well, I
For
mean,
its time.
that was one of the earliest releases for the Xbox One, and it was a great IP. I'm not gonna lie. Visually is one of the best games I've seen so far since this generation. And to the naysayers that say that the Xbox One can't do 1080p is stupid. The 360 was doing 1080p, but we won't even talk about that.
Right, exactly.
The Quantum Break. This is a IP that I'm not gonna lie, in-house IP that Microsoft has been backing and supporting for quite some time. They've also revealed what the game and the premise and the fact that it will have a story with it. I believe over a year ago, and we've been waiting on it. It's finally here. It's going to be here real soon. I'm probably going to get it as well. There's so many games that I haven't played yet, but let's talk about what it does do and what it means. It's another Xbox exclusive.
Oh yeah.
And if we're talking about games, then we need to be talking about exclusives and
Right.
exclusivity and originality. The fact that this game actually sits with the sitcom that not only that you will be able to play and enjoy during your gameplay, but I also heard that you will actually be able to buy this particular sitcom by itself at
Mhm.
some point. So you'll be able to watch this thing while you're not even playing the game. So it'll be like a episodic TV episode of this particular game. So I think that that's
Wow.
really dope. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of time and effort to do something like that, to have that type of dynamic in a video game. The game
Yeah.
looks beautiful.
Yeah.
If you like Max Payne, and this is not a Max Payne game, but it does have some time components in the game where you'll be able to stop time or slow down your enemy. And Max Payne was equivalent to where you can be able to bullet time and dodge bullets and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So, and I believe it's made by the creators of Max Payne. So,
maybe they took some components and elements from that. But I think that this game, it looks really good for what it is. From what I hear, it's lengthy as well, and it's a new IP, and we should enjoy it and embrace it. And that's what I think.
Okay, I got you. You know what? I'm gonna let, like I said, I'm gonna let you have that one because you know a little bit more about that one than I do. I'm gonna be honest with you on it because, like I said, I saw it, I seen it, and like I said, the pre-order, like I like the pre-order features because I know, I was gonna say B Shadows talked about that. Me and B Shadows was talking about the pre-order features on it. Of what happens when you pre-order it, and the that's actually one of the best pre-order things I've heard in a minute. If you pre-order a game, you get not only the Xbox One version of the game, you get the Windows 10 version plus a couple of other games.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is a steal within itself. I mean that's amazing. You know that you getting one to about maybe 3 or 4 games because you pre-ordered. You know what I'm saying? That's I haven't heard about that in a minute. Like okay, of course when you pre-order most games, you get like what a skin. You know what I'm saying? You get a skin that in some cases, depending on the game, you can end up buying later if you don't get it. You know, if you don't pre-order it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Or you might get an extra map or two. You know, before everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Or little small stuff. I mean, you actually get another copy of the game, which you can. I don't know if they'll let you do it for giveaways or whatever. That's a great giveaway thing right there. You know what I'm saying? If let's say for example, I pre-order it and be like, hey, I got a Quantum Break giveaway. Who wants it? You know what I'm saying? That'll be a great thing right there to do. But just in itself, the slowdown time. I remember seeing a trailer, trailers for it, and like I said, it was exciting to look at. You know what I'm saying? Now you was talking about episodic. Heck, I would one of the few shows I wouldn't mind. An episode of Brooklyn Boss putting in some work on a Quantum Break. Okay, cool, I'll watch it. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty interesting. I like that idea, and like I said, I'll probably I may not it might not be too high on my radar right now, but I'm definitely going to be look forward into getting it. And you know what I'm saying? So that's definitely one of the things that I'm going to see about doing, man. The next one now this one actually just came out yesterday. This one, I think this one just came out yesterday. The Final Fantasy 15 demo. Final Fantasy 15.
Mm.
And now the first Final Fantasy I played was 8.
Mm.
And this was way back in PS1. And I kind of, like I said, I fell in love with the series. I thought the series was pretty dope. And it's been a while since we actually had a good Final Fantasy. I downloaded it last night, and I mean, my timeline on Facebook was popping with the whole Final Fantasy 15 stuff, and I didn't get a chance to catch all of it, like all of the news, the live podcast thing that they did, or what they did with it. I did see a couple of things, a couple of stuff. So I just wanted to go ahead and download the demo for myself. And from what good 2-3 minutes I played from it, um, visually it's visually stunning, and it doesn't disappoint visually. Um, doesn't disappoint visually at all. Definitely, it's definitely up there. I mean, they better because, like I said, they better do it because it's been what 9 years since another Final Fantasy. I think, right? I think about 9 years, and it's been a minute. So, it's been a good grip, been a good minute. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they're gonna do with it. You know what I'm saying? So, I think Brooklyn Boss stepped away for about a split second. So, I'm gonna go ahead and see. Let me. Oh no, stop. Sorry. I'm looking here, trying to see about the comments here. If we got any. Okay, we don't have any comments. But like I said, I think definitely it's something that I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm definitely going to be happy that it's happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy about it. I like it so far. Like I only played like I tried to combat out like once, like for about a good 2 minutes, and it's one of those for those, if you're thinking it's gonna be one of those turn-based RPGs, um, it's not gonna happen. It's not a turn-based RPG. It's one of those action RPGs where you move around and then you do your attacks and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely want to we're definitely getting that. Looking forward to the demo. Like I said, I enjoy it. That's just me. Okay. We'll be right back, y'all, after a brief word from our sponsors. You guys stick tuned. We are here live at the Level Up podcast.
Yo,
All right. Yep, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. That was a quick one.
sorry about that. UPS, I had to go get a package right quick.
Oh, you had to get a package for me? Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing. But yeah, I was just telling, letting everybody know about the Final Fantasy 15.
Final Fantasy 15. I was able to download the actual demo yesterday. I didn't play it yet.
I
But
did.
you did play it, right?
I played like less than 5 minutes of it. Less than
Yeah,
5 minutes, I
I got
promise.
to get on that today.
Oh man,
To be
it's
quite
vicious.
honest,
Go ahead.
um, I go back as far as Final Fantasy 7, but the best Final Fantasy I ever played was, I believe, 10, and
Mm.
I haven't played one ever since then. So
Oh wow.
the fact that, from what I see and what I hope to experience, maybe in a few hours when I play the demo, I heard that there's like real live time action. There's
Yeah.
no stopping and you choosing to attack and they're choosing to attack and you got to take turns attacking each other, because I really never was really in favor of that. But now that I
Mm.
feel like it's real life time fighting, I think that's going to draw in a lot more people to make it more modern, more fast paced in a
Yeah.
sense. But I'm intrigued. I can't wait to see what it's about.
Okay. I like the traditional turn-based RPGs. Those are pretty good. I like those. Um, I definitely like them. I like the way it does require a bit of strategy, and I know it does kind of slow down the gameplay a lot in some cases because you're taking the time to think. This one is, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm not gonna make it a spoiler for you, but um, it's not a turn-based RPG. It's definitely more of an action RPG. So you'll be happy to know that. Um, you know, um, it looks good actually. It looks really really good. Uh, as Final Fantasy, I think Final Fantasies normally have, especially the later ones have had a good streak for visuals. You know what I'm saying? They've had a really good streak for visuals, and they look good. They look clean. Um, I know a lot of people are turned off by the turn based style, which I can rock with those. I can rock with turn based because 10 is good. I actually, my brother actually bought 10 from a retro game shop here, so that makes me want to get on it now and start. I might have to start over, but you know, hey, it's worth it though. I ain't played that game in a minute. You
Yeah, I
know,
think that I think that the thing about it is that everything needs to grow and advance with time. And I think that they needed to modernize it to the standards of what the new generation of gamers are expecting or accustomed to playing. And I
okay.
think that, like us, we got the patience to do that, to play the turn-based type of gameplay. And I think that the newer generation, not to say that some don't, but they just want to mash buttons and slice with your sword and attack the enemy. And because think about it, right? Final Fantasy has always been a strategic type game. It's a strategic type experience where you had to think before you even reacted, and it was sort of like
Right.
playing chess and checkers in a sense. And now I think that, not that they're dumbing it down, but they're making it more appealing to a broader audience.
Right, exactly. I agree with that, and a lot of the gamers now they're the whole, oh my god, this game is so slow. The cinematics, people are not really, worried about cinematics, and really, which I think is BS because there's a lot of games that were really cinematic based, like Batman, um, you know, stuff like that, and people play some of that with no problem. But Final Fantasy in itself is a big game, um,
Yeah.
and and people don't understand every Final Fantasy, believe it or not, is different. Every
Hmm.
Final Fantasy is a different story, different storyline. Some of the characters may be the same. Like you may have a Sid. From everyone that I remember, there's a Sid in every Final Fantasy.
Hmm.
I think yeah, in every one, and pretty much the same occupation.
Hmm.
But it's a different story. You know what I'm saying? Everything's different, and to keep that continuation going and stuff like that, I think it's to keep the series going and all of that. Man, it's work. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely some work to do. But like I said, from the little bit that I played, I enjoyed it. Like I said, visually stunning. Um, I looked out into the atmosphere of the game, and I'm like, "Whoa, this is crazy." The little animal thingy that you see at the beginning of the game,
Mm-hmm.
in game looks great.
Mm-hmm.
In game, and that always used to be that. Remember back in the gap, that used to be an issue because some of the game footage, especially on PlayStation 1, remember how the movies would look good, but the gameplay wouldn't match.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, they're slowly but surely diminishing that. You know what I'm saying? But I like it looks great. I'm like I said, I gotta take bounce between Killer Instinct season 3 and another surprise game that I like, Shadow of Mordor. Um,
Oh yeah.
that game is underrated severely, but so far I like that game. Like I said, Final Fantasy 15 looks like it's gonna be fun. And I'm looking forward to get into it. Now speaking of getting into this one, now we're gonna do this. This is the heavy hitter right here. This is the the granddaddy of all of them. The
Mm-hmm.
granddaddy of all of them. And you was talking about this earlier. I saw your video response to Hip Hop Gamer, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and have at you on that one because I know you got some things to get off your chest on it.
Well, I mean, I think I got most of it off my chest in the video that I made,
Yeah.
and by no means, right, am I trying to, you know, disrespect a man or to, make any type of issue between us. Because, like I said, I don't know the dude. We both from New York, and we both are gamers, allegedly. I know at least I am. And I kind of feel like in a lot of his videos, there's not much objectivity when he presents his topics. Now, he can do whatever he wants to do. He's in the position that he's in by his own merit, and I applaud him. I support him. You know what I mean? Black men, we need to support one another. Black people, just in general, we need more of that going on because there's
Right.
a lot of, people throw this word out there loosely around, but there's a lot of hate going on, and people are using terminology and words that they really don't really understand. But I look at it more of constructive criticism, giving my opinion about a lot of the things that he say because it seemed like he's more corporate or more of a corporatist for the corporations and these developers than he are for the actual consumers and the gamers that he say that he's trying to educate or trying to appeal to. He made a video the other day called Hip Hop Gamer Exposes Street Fighter 5 Haters and Reveals Spoiled Gamers. So I took offense to that because I'm like, well, what is a spoiled gamer? What is a gamer that buys a game that isn't complete and then therefore has an issue with it because they did spend their money. I have Street Fighter 5. And, the fact that he, just generally just overlooked or over glossed over the consumers that have experienced issues with this game. I was quite appalled by it. I was quite taken back by it because he says he's a journalist. And when you're a journalism, you got to learn how to be neutral. I thought journalists are supposed to be factual, but they're supposed to be neutral. They're not supposed to have any allegiance to anything. And he says he's a gamer. He has every console. Every now and then he throws out a video with all his games on the bed and how he's been gaming for this long. Well, so have I. And, he doesn't corner the market on gaming because he's talking about gaming. Neither do I.
Right.
But the factual parts, they have to be real and they have to be honest because you got people listening to you that don't know much about gaming or who are misinformed and just believe and rely on everything that you say. And the fact that most of it is unfactual, unfounded, and actually very disrespectful. He even said that the creators of Street Fighter V, Capcom, I forget their head guy, didn't need to apologize, even though he did apologize. He said that they didn't need to apologize because, he felt like it was a PR movement. The game was down for a day and a half, maybe a little bit more than that. Some might say, depending on what region of the world you live in.
Mm.
But the game was down day one, so you couldn't play online. There wasn't any generic, normal arcade mode where you get to play against the PC and climb up through the ranks like you would normally do in any Street Fighter game. Now, I've been playing Street Fighter since the original Street Fighter that was in the arcade. So I know exactly what comes with this game. A
Mm.
single player mode, a versus mode, an arcade mode, which is normally the story mode. And those weren't there. Okay. And when the online was there, you had online connectivity issues. Now, the last Street Fighter game that came out was in 2008, so he said. And therefore, they had over 8 years to correct the online server issues. I wanted to make it known to people that this is a fighting game. They're using generally the same template. I'm not saying graphically it's the same game, but they generally use the same formula that they use for the last 10 fighting games. It's a fighting game, right? It's not changing that much. You're not doing too much. You're not interacting with the background. Technically, it's you versus the CPU or you versus another player, and you fight. So I think that Capcom should be held accountable for the flawed product that they put out. Then the man said that the developers are telling these chairholders or chairmen that the game isn't completed yet, and that it's not the developers that are putting out the actual games that aren't complete, but it's actually the chairman or the chairman people that are putting this game out because they need to make their dividends back. So then what? So when the consumers get a flawed game that isn't complete, then how should they take that? Should they just shut up and be quiet and just deal with the fact that the game isn't complete, or that it falsely advertised that it's a complete game that you're going to enjoy? Because I'm sure people that bought this game day one didn't enjoy it because they couldn't play it day one online. And that's the whole point of playing fighting games nowadays. Not to say that some people don't enjoy playing like the survival modes or, you know, playing the arcade story modes. Yeah, there are people that like playing that. But generally, people want to play against other people online, and you couldn't do that. And then that fact that, you know, his comparisons and his breakdown and his analysis of anything that he speaks of when it comes to video gaming is always all over the place. They never seem to coincide with what he's saying, what's coming out of his mouth. He used terms and examples that just aren't applicable to what the conversation is about, and then it makes him look really bad, and no one says anything to him. And I think that overall, you know, the way I feel about him right now, like I said, I don't know the dude. There's no personal vendetta, anything like that. But I just feel like you can't take anything that serious is coming out of this dude's mouth. You know, anything that comes out of his mouth, it got to be taken with a grain of salt because you don't know if it's true or not. You know, he's so corporate. You know, at this particular point, they're paying him whatever they're paying him to say whatever he's saying. He's not really a gamer at this particular point. He's marketing games to you from a particular perspective, from a particular company. Generally, is normally Sony, even though he says he owns an Xbox One. But he really does gameplay, right? Or whenever he does his videos, he's always doing it on the Sony platform. How are you going to talk about another? How are you going to say you were a gamer in one breath, right? And say you were a journalist and you neutral and do a complete segment. Like you said the other day, he did a segment about Quantum Break and talking about how great the game is, but you're doing it on the PS4 camera. You got the Xbox One. Won't you use the Xbox One camera? Won't you use the Xbox One platform so that you can bring some neutrality into the conversations that you bring into people? Because some people are looking at that turned off, like, yo, how you talking about that's like me playing a Sony game on a video, but talking about Xbox. You're gonna be like, well, what the hell? At least I pay attention to the content that I put out. I pay attention to the minor details that make my channel stand out and make my thoughts more accountable and more respectable, because I think about those things subconsciously. And I think that he's just in a position where I don't know if he's in this position because he knows what he's talking about. But if you look at the videos that he does, it seems like he generally just doesn't have an idea and he's just talking just to talk, where there's nothing factual. And I don't care how many developers that he might speak to. You know what I mean? They're not giving you the truth. They're not telling you the God honestness. They're not that. I mean, and I think that, you know, you got to be more pro gamer, pro consumer when you're in that field anyway, because that's if he says he's a pro gamer, he starts off from that and he comes from that area or from that lineage, then how could you automatically just switch from being a pro gamer to pro developer? That's just how I feel.
I feel that, and like a lot of the stuff, like I said, I like, you know, I at a surface level, I appreciate what he's doing. You know, the hip hop, you know, the hip hop and games and stuff, that's dope. I like the concept, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, from a surface thing, you know, and I was watching some of it myself and I've watched some of your videos. It's like some of the stuff I don't necessarily agree with. You know what I'm saying? I just really haven't had the time to do a actual response because I plan on doing one myself to his to one of his videos, and just dealing with the whole Street Fighter Five in itself. The game, you know, we're not spoiled. You know what I'm saying? You pay $60 for a game, you're going to want the stuff. You're going to want the stuff that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? For $60, like, you know, that's Street Fighter is a legacy fighter game. It's a legacy game. You know what I'm saying? There is things that's been in it. They've set the bar. Heck, this is the game that's created the combo system for other
Mm-hmm.
games to follow. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Um, Heck, this is the game that's pretty much revolutionized the way we play fighting games. You know what I'm saying? So why why sit up here and take a step back, and say, well, oh, I now I understand if you're making a version for in time for Evo. Okay, if you're gonna make, release it out as a build in time for Evo, then cool. I understand that, you know what I'm saying, but make some proper adjustments to saying, and saying so, not maybe not the day before or none of that. Don't if you're gonna say you're gonna have an update, don't lead people on and wait until the last week and say, okay, yeah, the update's coming at the end of this month. You know what I'm saying? Because by then, by the third week and you ain't said nothing, folks are gonna be like, well, the update really ain't coming out. I'm gonna turn this game back in. You're about to lose out sales, and you know what I'm saying? And having the game modes, having the game modes are important because people want to play these games. You gotta have the I guess the new player in mind. Like you can't always, I know everybody wants to look at the competitive scene, especially for fighters. They want the competitive scene. They want that to flourish because those are the people that can keep your game going. Those are the people that like Marvel. That's why Marvel versus Capcom 3, even though it sucks in my personal opinion, it's been going on in every tournament. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Smash Brothers Melee still goes on tournament wise to this day. You know what I'm saying? People are still playing. If you look at any fight game tournament, big one, they are playing Super Smash Brothers Melee. They play Melee over the new Smash Brothers that's out right now. That's how much of an impact it has. So you gotta you gotta understand, if they could do that, then Street Fighter should be taking notes and be like, okay, well, dang, okay, let's give them something to remember. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's the case, everybody should just go back to playing Street Fighter 4.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'd rather go back to playing Ultra Street Fighter 4. You know what I'm saying? Granted, there's a lot of tech in there. They took out a lot of stuff from 5. And matter of fact, I just found out that they updated something in 5, uh, that for command grapplers like Zangief, they added like an extra frame of startup on some of their moves. So I have to look at the video, but that's neither here nor there. But you know what I'm saying? But like I said, as far as hip hop gamers concerned, like, you can't just, to me, I feel that you can't just be like, okay, well, Sony can't do no wrong. This is dope. This is this, that, a third. If I would say, if you're a Sony guy, then just say it. Say it. Say, say, hey, I'm a hip hop gamer and I'm a PS4. I'm a Sony advocate. I love Sony. I love their product. I would be cool with that. And you're not gonna have no problems with me. You might get a disagreement on certain things for me, but at the end of the day, the fact that you said, okay, hey, you like PS4, that's cool. I know a lot of people that have a preference for PS4. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of friends right now on my Facebook that play Call of Duty, for example, on PS4. You know what I'm saying? But I feel sorry for them sometimes because they ain't got no games coming out. But you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But that's their preference. But if you really want, like, you can't sit up and say you for the gamers by the gamers if you're not really, if you're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? If just say you're Sony, your team Sony, and you're a Sony journalist, then hey,
Yeah.
then we'll rock with that.
Yeah.
And then we'll have me and Brooklyn Boss be the Xbox journalists. How about that?
Nah, you know what, man. You make a lot of sense, man. And I'm gonna be honest, man. Some that a lot of gamers aren't nowadays. You know, when I say I play everything, I play everything,
Yeah.
and I mean that everything. I be on my phone. I was playing this
this baseball game on my Samsung phone. What's the name of this shit? It's called Home Run Battle 3D. And I be on my smartphone when I'm at work or when I'm home watching a movie. I'm always playing something, doing something. So when I say that I'm a gamer, that means I enjoy playing games on all platforms across the board. I will say this though. You know what? It's 2016. I will start making more gameplay videos on the PS4. I will say that. I will start streaming more from this day on. That's my word. I will start streaming more because then people say, where's your gaming at on your channel? And if you ever came to my channel, you see nothing but gameplay. I'm constantly throwing up something that I'm playing, something that I'm enjoying, something that I'm doing. And it just really hasn't really been anything that's really been appealing to me on the PS4, other than the multiplayer games. And I'm going to start looking exclusively for PS4 exclusives to play, just to bring some balance on my channel as well, because this isn't a bash PlayStation type video, and I'm not a bash PlayStation type guy because I own a PS4 too. So I mean, I'm going to make that concerted effort, but I just can't stand people that, don't know what they're talking about. That's one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to anything in life. I'm like this in my real life. If you ever met my boss or whatever, even when he don't know what he's talking about, I don't like it, and I tell him. So it's like, I'm just like that with everything I do. If you know what you're talking about, then go ahead, do it, talk, be truthful, be honest, get all the facts, do the research. But if you don't, then it kind of takes away from everything you're saying. And I think that the guy has a lot of opportunity to do a lot of great things if he just use what he needs to use properly, use your resources properly, in the sense of you got these advantages that gamers like me and others don't have. Use them properly, but also continue to be yourself. Don't sell out and don't just say anything. You know what I mean? Just to say something. If you have nothing to say, then don't say anything. That's what I would rather somebody not say at all. You know what I mean? So,
or at least talk on what you know. Speak on what you know. Or, or if you got speculations, okay, then say, hey, this is just a speculation. This is just my thoughts on it. This is just my opinion. Or, make it known, that this is your opinion. But you can't sit up here and just say, oh yeah, this is fact. And that's the problem with a lot of Sony people, man. A lot of and I hate saying it like that or putting people in a box like that, but it is what it is. Like, you got a lot of people that are like just Sony people, and they love to say, oh, well, Sony's better than PS4, or 1080p, like, and B Shadow said it the best. Like, a lot of people are not technically minded. Like, they do not know anything about frames per second. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I know about it, I'm gonna tell you how I know about it, because I learned it. I learned it from looking at fighting games myself, and doing the research, and actually visually seeing it myself, and doing the research, and also because from video editing, when you edit your own videos, when you do your own videos, and you have better equipment and all of that stuff, you learn about things like that. That's the beauty of doing, when you do your YouTube videos, you have that opportunity to learn, about your craft, you know what I'm saying, or add things to your craft, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I know about 60 frames a second, because and I know that there is a visual difference between 30. There's a big difference between 24, because most movies run at 24, 30 frames a second, which is standard, 1080p, and then 60. 60 is a big difference. You know what I'm saying? You can actually, you see it more in moving, like when you're moving. Like, you may not see it like when you're like in a racing game so much, for example, because you're focusing on racing. But like, if you look at a video and you make a turn, it's a lot of a smoother look. You know what I'm saying? It's a way smoother look versus and your eyes are able to track it more versus a 30 frames per second, in my personal opinion. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? So you got, you once you research, you learn these things, and then you talk about it. You know what I'm saying? If you make a mistake, then okay, cool. You can't just be doing shots fired on people, just because they have a somewhat of a similar difference than you. You know what I'm saying? You're so hyping up the PS4 thing, the PlayStation, the PlayStation, what is it? The streaming service, the PlayStation Now. That's what it's called.
Now. Yep.
Yeah, PlayStation Now. You hyping that up. It's a subscription service versus, and then versus Xbox One's backwards capability. That's emulation. If my internet would have cut off today, for example, I can go back and play those games right now. No problem. I could play those games right now. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't have internet with the subscription service, I can't play it. You know what I'm saying? Just because I, that's, you know what I'm saying, but you can't hype that up. You know what I'm saying? You're paying once a month. You're paying monthly for that service. Whereas Xbox One's backward capabilities, all you got to do is have the game, or if you've bought the game already, it's a free download,
Mm-hmm.
and you got it. Pretty much, you have it forever. That's easy. That's. I mean, just by that itself, that's so much better than what it is. So you gotta know, especially if you're speaking objectively, you gotta know when one is better than the other. You gotta know when to admit when, even if you're a fan of a team or of a group or a company, you gotta admit when folks is doing wrong. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta admit when
Mm-hmm.
stuff is just not that good or not the best, instead of just hyping it up and saying, oh, it's, gamers are lazy, or gamers are selfish, or gamers are this, that, and the third. You pay $60 for a game, you want it complete, you want some kind of completion. You know what I'm saying? DLC is cool, but if I'm gonna pay for, if I gotta, okay, I'll put it like this: if I pay $60 for a game and it's not complete, DLC better be free.
Mm-hmm.
I better not have to pay for not nan bit of nothing for at least a year. I'm gonna put it like that. If it's that bad, you know what I'm saying, like Street Fighter 5, I better not have to pay for no characters. I better not have to pay for no colors. Matter of fact, once you get things fixed, I better have some in-game currency so I can spend something. You know what I'm saying? I need to have something in my hands, because to me, like I said, I feel that's unacceptable. I feel it's bad you can't do like Killer Instinct. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to do like KI so bad. Even with KI, you have an option for free.
Mm-hmm.
You said you have an option to do it. You have an option to do things free. Your character, you have to buy your characters. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, you do have to buy your characters, excuse me. When you do buy your characters, you have them, set a certain way. You can buy the previous seasons for a certain pack for a price amount. You can buy the new characters, in a pack, for a certain amount. They got like a 50, $60 for a pack for Killer Instinct. For if you want to get all the bells and whistles plus bonus double XP plus what else? The KI gold in-game currency. You know what I'm saying? Or if you just want the characters, you could just buy just the characters. Or if you want to do it separately, you have the option to do it separately. It's there. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you have these options. Well, they're trying to do like KI. People saying, well, KI will do it. You have options. It's done. It's fluid. You have options. You can buy one character at a time, and even and this is how KI is smart. Certain characters, if you do it one at a time, you can't buy them like all at once. You got to wait a certain amount of days,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty smart, marketing wise, I think. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? So you have options. There's ways you can go about it. You know what I'm saying? And if you get the free version, it'll just cycle you through a character. So you have your options if you want to just try the game out. So what's the deal? I'm not spoiled. That's not spoiling me. That's giving me what I paid for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So all I'm saying is give me what I paid for, and we straight. You know what I'm saying? Pay, instead of you charging me $60, how about you charge me 30? Heck, you gonna charge if you gonna charge for the DLC anyway, 30.
See, but this guy, he's so anti consumers that he's going to tell you that even if the game isn't what it should be, just deal with it. Like, you should know what you're buying. Like, how the fuck could you fix your face to say something like that to somebody that bought the Street Fighter 5 shit? Like, you
Right.
think if I knew the shit wasn't going to work day one, if I knew it was going to have these glitching issues in it, if Capcom told me that shit before I bought it, you think they would spend their fucking $60 on it?
Mm-mm.
People are buying these games with good faith, thinking that they're going to get a complete product. And the fact that this guy would sit there and tell you that no, it doesn't matter if you get a complete product or not, you should know what you're buying. Well,
Right.
then fucking
Exactly.
tell me that it's not going to be complete then. Tell me it's going to be 40% complete, 50% complete. And then I can make a judgment call on whether I want to experience that shit.
But I don't think
Exactly.
that it's fair to call yourself a journalist if you're not going to be real and honest like that. I can't
Exactly.
trust that, man.
Look, you want to hear an analogy, right? I'm gonna give you a good one. This is good. This is a good analogy. You're gonna laugh at this one. This is gonna be good. This is like going into a relationship with somebody that you know is bad. You know what I'm saying? Or marrying somebody that's bad and you still got to deal with. They tell you, oh, just deal with it. You are not. There is no way that anybody that's going to put up with something that's not complete, or or something that they feel is not going to work, or not going to have
Mhm.
all the stuff, which is kind of jacked up. But we'll go into that. That's a personal topic. Anyway, but still, you know what I'm saying? It's the same. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to sit up here. Oh, ain't nobody just going to deal with that. You're not going to deal with a boss treating you disrespectfully. You know what I'm saying? Oh, just deal with it. You're getting money. Just deal with it. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'm a consumer. I want what I want. I'm voting with my dollar, like you say. I want this. I want a complete game. Street Fighter 4, when it came out, it had everything. Okay. When
Mhm.
Street Fighter 4 came out, it had everything. It had the arcade mode, it had story mode, it had a training mode, a legit training mode. I didn't have to go online and be like, well, no, Street Fighter had a legit training mode too. Okay, I'll take that back. I just thought about that. Okay, have a training mode, have a survival mode, have have a trial mode. They don't even have that. They don't have a mode to where you can, um, you know, try out some combos. You know what I'm saying? In the combos, and believe it or not, the combos in 5 are really easy. They are really not that hard. The combo system is way easier in 5 than it is in 4. They
Mhm.
took out a lot of stuff. They took out a lot of tech in 4. The focus cancels, the dash, the focus attack, focus cancels. They took out a lot of stuff in 4 that you know that people thought, oh, Street Fighter 4 is so hard, it was so difficult, and so they did that, and they took a lot of that out in 5. So I'm like, okay, fine, it is what it is. You got what you want. The game is pretty much like Third Strike reinvented. So what's the deal? Street Fighter 4 had all of these modes. So what's the point? Why can't the next iteration of this game have these modes that should be in there? Heck, every Street Fighter every fighting game that Capcom has made has had a straight mode. It has an arcade, has a versus, has a training, has a survival. You know what I'm saying? And a few extra modes. So what's the problem? That's my thing. But I'm done. I don't want to harp on it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to keep harping on it. But yeah, like I said, I definitely think that it's we definitely gotta as consumers, we really gotta start. I think we still gotta be being more vocal with what we will and won't put up with, and just do it in a tasteful manner. I think if we do it tastefully, I think it'll be done right. If you do it tastefully, it'll be taken 9 times out of 10. It'll be taken respectfully. You go in there talking about shots fired, blah blah blah, and start demanding stuff or telling people to deal with it. It's not gonna work. That's just my personal opinion.
Mhm.
But any final thoughts, Brooklyn Boss, before we cut this podcast, man?
Yeah, man. Just game. For the most part, man. If you got a YouTube channel, then like Miss K always says, I should be seeing some gaming on your channel. Like, what's the point of having a YouTube channel and there's no gaming on it? And game and have fun. This is something that I do to escape from the real world because the real world is just horrible. People are horrible, and it's just this gaming industry and this gaming entertainment. It just puts me in a different space where I'm calm, I'm more understanding, and I just want to be sometimes left alone from the real world and everybody in it. I just want to play my games sometimes, you know what I mean, to just take my mind off a lot of things. And I think that is real therapeutic for a lot of people and to a lot of people when you're able to do that. Some people take this shit way too serious than it need to be taken. Um, especially the people that just every game they buy, they got to do like an unboxing on YouTube. Like, it's a game. Like, who the fuck want to see you unbox a game? Like, especially if it's not even a new game. Every little pickup, it's oh look, I got this. Oh look, I got that. That's not what it's about. Just play your games
and have fun, man. And you know, you can't make everybody's not going to make a career out of this shit. You know, and there's the real world. There's a time for gaming. There's a time for the real world. There's times where I don't even play games. There's a time where I just want to come home and watch a movie or just lay up and do nothing. You know what I mean? And you got to be able to delegate, you know, what's your priorities and what's important. You know what I mean? And, you know, not take this way too serious than it need to be. You know, I'm not, I only got like 52 subscribers. You see what I'm saying? And I swear I put out more content that's dope and realer than the people that got thousands of subscribers.
I feel that.
So being that that's the case, you know, I can't do nothing about that. All I can do is just play my games and appeal to people that appeal to the same thing that I appeal to, and that's just it. That's just the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I definitely me as far as game wise, I definitely agree that if you're gonna have a gaming channel, you do need to put some content up, put some good quality content up, please. I see a lot of gamers out there that are just trying so hard to just you know as far as taking it seriously. Yeah, if you want it as a job, I mean, then cool. I mean, like I said, me, that's what the aim I'm going for. But it at the same time, I definitely, I want to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I want to have fun with it. It's something that I overall enjoy doing. It's something that I um, overall like doing. And I definitely, want to keep doing it. I definitely like the idea of, this is probably be something that we'll talk about. I know we talked about it maybe before at one point,
Mm-hmm.
but I definitely want to bring a topic in, and I definitely want to talk with more people that are in this arena of the esports. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to talk more with those people because they have because I like doing stuff like that. I like the competitive aspect of it. I like being the idea of it. I mean, because since we got sports on TV, you got people that play basketball, people that do stuff like that. Why not do gaming like that? You can do gaming like that, and you can open it up to more people because not everybody may be able to be physically active. There's people that have tried to do sports and got injured. You know what I'm saying? And been unable to compete in that arena. So I think stuff like that gives them an opportunity, another chance, or another avenue to compete. But like I said, that's another topic. We'll probably talk about that next time. I definitely want to try to see about getting some esports people involved here with this in this next podcast because it's definitely something to talk about. Definitely something to get involved because I've been looking at a few of those, and like I said, that's something that interests me. Um, but overall, I do like gaming with people that that overall enjoy the game, that overall enjoy the stuff. The unboxings, I definitely can rock with the unboxings, or pickup videos. I like pickup videos. If you pick up some games, hey, show us what you got, pick it up. Oh, you picked up that game? Okay, that game is cool. Or somebody knows anything about the game, leave it in the comment section. Hey, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I think it's definitely a part of the YouTube thing. It keeps your content going. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be gaming, just put your games out there, um, and just be yourself. Stop trying to. We don't need another PewDiePie. We don't need another Dash EXP. We don't need another. Who else is big right now? Big gamers out there that everybody tries to copy sometimes. Um, we don't need another any of those. We just need, what we do need is another you know what I'm saying? Another unique individual that's going to, put out that good content, and talk with game with other people. You may not agree on different topics. I know some people may not agree what we talked about today. That's fine. But at the end of the day, as long as you enjoy what you do and, agree to disagree and, you know, treat people with respect, I think, we'll take it, things will go a lot farther in the long run. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end this podcast on that note. Brooklyn Boss, thank you once again for bringing this up here. We made it to level 4. You know what I'm saying? We are. I think this is the dope level. I think we hit some good stuff today.
Word up.
I'm like I said, if you guys got any topics out there, be sure to hit me or Brooklyn Boss up, and we'll definitely you know get you guys in there. If you guys want to be in the next podcast or any podcast in the future, please let us know. We'll definitely make room for you, and we'll definitely have get you in here. We do want to make sure you guys are punctual. Please, if you can get in before. I'm just putting this out there. Just if you can't get in before the time, we don't want to have too many people joining in late, you know what I'm saying, or joining in, you know what I'm saying, unless you have, like, I understand, like, if we do it in the evening, you just got off work, that's fine, that's understandable. But like, if you know, if you can, please get in at the beginning of the podcast, so that way we won't have to worry about doing too much of a recap. You okay? Like I said, I definitely want to talk to some esports people next, for the next podcast. You know, getting more people in. You know, we want to get some definitely esports perspectives on things, and I definitely want to talk with them about some topics and stuff like that. So yeah, so for all my esports people out there that's going to be watching this, whether it's live or archived, we'd love to have you. Any developers also, if you guys are, you know, that want to take time to, you know, we want to make time for you, spotlight you a little bit, you know, holla at us, we got you. You know what I'm saying? Tell us about your project and stuff like that, and get, you know, we also can get insight from you. You know, it's also good to have another good perspective from, you know, a developer. What you think? You think that's a good perspective to have?
Oh, definitely, absolutely, without a doubt. I mean, you hear the truth of what's actually going on from the horse's mouth, theoretically. So,
Right.
yeah, a developer would be nice to get on, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think there's a couple of. I know there's a lot of developers out there, smaller, you know, especially smaller developers out there that are trying to get Steam Greenlight approval. So definitely want to talk with them, and maybe, you know, maybe that'll help them out too. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be good to help out other
Hmm.
people. But Brooklyn Boss, tell them where they can find you at, bro.
So you can find me at Game Craver. I upload content Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, at least 3 to 4 videos each of those 3 days. I just be gaming. That's all I do. When I got some downtime, don't forget to like and subscribe to my boy LG channel and the Level Up podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to a Game Craver, to just check out a channel where it's nothing more, nothing less, just gaming, me gaming and enjoying my games. No agenda or no ulterior motives there.
Okay, I feel you. I feel that. Well, I have an agenda. Is to grow my stuff. That's my agenda. No, I'm playing. But anyway, but I'm just saying, y'all can find me on Twitter, Twitter at 210LG, Facebook 210LG, and continue to keep it locked right here for music, vlogs, and gaming. Just a couple of side announcements. Gamers Paradise is coming along nicely. Season 6 is going to be coming out soon. I will have a tentative date for you guys. Be sure to also check out my website, 210lg.com. You know, guys, I'm building it up, so I definitely would like to hear your input, Brooklyn Boss. I would like to see your input on it. You know, whenever you get a chance, and let me know what you think, where I can
I
fix
checked
it.
it out. It's pretty good.
Oh,
It's dope.
appreciate it, man. And some things, I know there's some things I need to fix on it. So sometimes it's like one of those things, like I know what needs to be, I know things need to be fixed. Sometimes I just don't know what or where.
Hmm.
So, you know, that extra tidbit of help will be nice. But you know, you guys out there, check it out. You know, check out the website. Be sure to check out Brooklyn Boss, aka the Game Craver. You know, check out his gameplay videos when you guys get a chance. Be sure to sub to some great gaming. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the soldiers that game. Shout out
Shout
to,
out to soldiers.
yep, Meek Gaming. And all that, you know, all the good people out there. That's
Miss K.
Miss K, of course. Well, Meek Gaming also has a group on Facebook too, so I definitely
Oh,
want
she
to.
does? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's why I kind of did that separately a little bit, because
Gotcha.
yeah, I know it's kind of awkward. I was like, I forget sometimes, because yeah, it happens. But yeah, shout out to everybody, soldiers that game, Meek, Miss K, Fly Girl Gaming, Coupon, uh, Chrissy, uh,
Lynn.
Miss Lynn, of course, can't forget Miss Lynn. Miss Nia. Oh, I'm gonna get her back. She got me good in the last podcast. I'm gonna get her good next time. She don't know it yet. But let me see who else, man. We got a lot. All the people in the soldiers, man. You know, Mushmouth, all of y'all. Thank y'all for, coming through, and we'll be see you guys on the next time. And you guys keep it gaming. All right, keep it real, keep it gaming. All right,
Word.
peace and God bless.
Peace.